8:18 a.m., and this is temporal experiment number 1. Come on, Einie. Hey, boy, get in there. That a boy. In you go. Get down. Get your seatbelt on. That's it.
Whoa. Okay.
Please note that Einstein's clock is in precise synchronization with my control watch. Got it?
Right, check, Doc.
Good. Have a good trip, Einstein. Watch your head.
You got that thing hooked up to the car?
Watch this.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
Not me. The car. The car. If my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit. Watch this, watch this. What did I tell you? 88 miles per hour! The temporal displacement occurred at exactly 1:20 a.m. and 0 seconds!
Hot Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, Doc. You disintegrated Einstein.
Calm down, Marty. I didn't disintegrate anything. The molecular structure of both Einstein and the car are completely intact.
Where the hell are they?
The appropriate question is, when the hell are they? You see, Einstein has just become the world's first time traveler. I sent him into the future. 1 minute into the future, to be exact. And at precisely 1:21 a.m. and 0 seconds, we shall catch up with him and the time machine.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're going to build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style? Besides, the stainless steel construction made the flux dispersal. Look out!
Doc?
Huh, that's peculiar.
Where's the car, Doc?
It should have caught up with us 27 seconds ago.
Doc, what happened to Einstein?
No need for concern. It's probably just a minor miscalibration of the time circuits. Marty, could you get my notebook? It should be in the toolbox.
Notebook. Got it. Flux capacitor?
That's it!
What the heck's a flux capacitor?
My latest invention. The thing that makes time travel possible. In this notebook, I've detailed the nearly 3 decades of scientific breakthroughs necessary to build a working time machine. If it ever fell into the wrong hands, the consequences could be catastrophic. Let's see. Is mass equals I times Z and E equals the square.
Consequences could be catastrophic? Whoa. Deja vu. Doc?
Great Scott!
Doc, what is it?
I've made a horrible mistake.
Doc! Doc, no!
I'm sorry, Marty.
Doc, come back! Doc! Doc!
Marty, is everything okay?
Yeah, Mom, it was just a nightmare. I was in the past, and Doc was there.
Well, you're safe and sound now. back in good old 1986. But you'd better get up. Your father's waiting for you.
Huh?
Weren't you going to meet him over at Doc's?
Holy crap, I'm late! Dad, are we too late to stop the sale?
Better late than never. You wouldn't believe how much rare stuff there is back here.
That's Doc stuff. The city has no right to...
Now, son, I know you're upset, but your friend's been gone for months, and the city really seems hell-bent on using his land for that new parking garage. And, hey, is that a first edition Jules Verne?
It's just not fair. But at least things can't get any worse.
Hey, Marty.
Hi, Biff.
Come to see if the old crackpot had any buried treasure?
Nah, I guess I'm just... remembering. A fish tank? I never knew Doc raised fish. Doc's fish had weird taste in decor. Kind of like Doc.
Hey, let me!
Now, Biff, leave Marty alone. This is a very emotional time for him.
Oh, sure. Sorry, Marty.
I miss Einstein. I wonder why Doc didn't take any of these with him.
Does nature contrive it so that even with a time machine, you can intervene to prevent your own conception, for example?
Hey, Dad. What's Biff doing here? He wasn't a friend of Doc's.
It's a public sale, Marty. Everyone's allowed. Even Biff.
Do you think dreams can predict the future?
Well, you know I don't go in for that mystical stuff, but I do think they can reflect how you're feeling about the future. What did you dream?
Oh, just weird stuff about Doc.
Well, that's understandable, don't you think?
I guess, but I feel like it was telling me something. Who's running this sale anyway?
Oh, that'd be me, son.
You? Why?
Well, once it became apparent that the bank was going through with the sale, I volunteered to oversee it in order to make sure that Doc's stuff would be treated with a modicum of respect. Isn't that right, Biff?
You got it, Mr. McFly.
I'm telling you, this sale is a joke. Doc's only been gone for a few months, and I happen to know...
Yes, you've told us he's not dead. He's on a trip. Let's say you're right. Have you considered that this trip may not have been entirely voluntary? I hate to say it, but Doc's run up some pretty sizable debts around town. Maybe he's just hiding from his creditors.
I'll keep looking around. Thanks, Dad. Doc built this model at downtown Hill Valley way back in 1955. The clock tower in the courthouse even works. What the? Is that Doc's notebook in there?
Hey, that looks just like the courthouse. You gotta hand it to the old coot. He was good with his hands.
Biff, can I see that a minute?
This would look great in my fish tank. Give the old carp something new to nibble on.
Can I see that model courthouse for just a second? I need to get something out of it.
Like what? A not guilty verdict? That was a joke.
Oh, ha. But really, can I?
Nah, I think I'll hold on to it.
Give it here, Biff.
Well, well, looky what we have here. Looks like plans for something. What's a flux catheter?
It's none of your business. Doc asked me to...
Brown's worm food, kid. But this looks like it might be worth something.
Hope that wasn't poison gas or anything. Doc sure did love his Jules Verne. Doc must have whipped up some crazy compounds in that cauldron. It smells like beef stew.
Hey, let me try, Marty.
Now, Biff, let Marty have his turn.
You got it, Mr. McFly.
I'll probably never know what this is for. Feels like that was a lifetime ago. Actually, I guess it was.
Enough of that junk.
Now, Biff.
Sorry, Marty.
Feels like that was a lifetime ago. I'll probably never know what this is for. Looks like a hand crank lightning rod, or maybe a lightning-powered pencil sharpener. I'll probably never know what this is for. Let's make some noise. It took me forever to repair this thing after I blew it out last time, and now some jerk's gonna pick it up for pennies. I better not crank it up anymore. I really don't want to blow this thing out again. Hey, Dad, why's my guitar got a price tag on it?
Sorry, son. Must have been an overzealous clerk. Just pick it up. I'll iron things out with the bank.
Here's an oldie, but a goodie. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, look! It's Chuck Butthead. Let me show you how it's done.
Now, Biff, I think that's Marty's guitar.
Oh, gosh, you're right, Mr. McFly. Oh, here you go, Marty. Let's hear a few licks. Man, you kids have ruined rock and roll.
Hey, Dad. About Biff. Dad, I know you're trying to help.
He talks a big game, son, but he's not so tough. I've been dealing with him a long time. Believe me, I can handle him.
So can I.
I guess you can. Okay, son, I'll stay out of your way. You know where to find me.
That notebook is Doc's legacy. I've got an obligation to protect it.
Now, hold on a minute. Didn't you just get done telling me Doc's still around? Off traveling somewhere?
Yeah?
Then how is it your obligation to protect his legacy? You can't have it both ways, Marty. If Doc's alive, he can protect his own legacy. Problem? Biff?
He's got this thing, see, and I really need to get it back.
If he stole something from you...
No, it's one of Doc's notebooks. Yeah, he found it first, but...
Oh, well then I'm not sure what to tell you. I guess you'll just have to appeal to his better angels or something.
Or something. I'll keep looking around. Thanks, Dad. And now, something your kids are really gonna like.
Thanks for warming them up for me, butthead. Now watch me blow the lid off this joint.
Whatever you say.
Whoa!
Rock on, Biff.
Oh, shit.
Doc, where are you? Doc? Einstein! Where do you come from, boy? Didn't you bring Doc with you? Okay, Doc, I know I haven't seen you in a few months, but I'm pretty sure this isn't your shoe.
Marty?
Ah!
Marty, if you're hearing this recording, then the DeLorean's automatic retrieval feature is a resounding success.
Automatic retrieval?
In case of my failure to return to the DeLorean within an allotted time, I programmed the time machine to jump to these four-dimensional coordinates without me. As you are well aware, time travel is an inherently risky activity, and despite my elaborate precautions, there's always a possibility that I could land in trouble sometime. and that sometime is now, or then, or maybe later.
He's in trouble.
Marty, you've come to my rescue in the past, or was it the future? Anyway, I'm relying on you to do it again. Please take the DeLorean back, or forward, to whenever it is I'm stuck in time. When you get there, I'm sure you'll figure out what to do.
That's it? Aren't you gonna tell me when that is?
Just go to the date specified on the time circuit readout under the heading marked Last Time Departed. Good luck.
Right. Last time departed. Oh, jeez. Come on. Crap! Oh, great. How am I supposed to find him now? Looks like the time circuits still work. Now I only need to know when to look for Doc. I can use those to enter a date into the time circuits. Once I know when to look for Doc. I can use those to enter a date into the time circuits. Once I know when to look for Doc. This time-traveling shoe is my only clue to finding Doc. This notebook has all of Doc's plans for the flux capacitor and the DeLorean. I'd better make sure it never falls into the wrong hands. And by wrong hands, I mostly mean Biff. I keep this picture of my dad to remind me that even the most hopeless losers can grow up to be pretty cool guys. What kind of trouble is Doc in, Einie? What kind of trouble is Doc in, Einie? What do you know about this shoe, Einie? Great Scott! I think he's onto something! Okay, now we're getting somewhere. How's this supposed to lead me to Doc, Einie? A1 liquor. I like the new bars Mr. Figgins put on the windows. Very secure. Starbase 0. I hope Jimmy's fixed the Wild Gunman machine. What kind of trouble is Doc in, Einie? Why couldn't Doc have invented a dog translator?
Step away from the door!
Ah!
Now, let me get a look at you.
Einstein, come on!
Just as I suspected. Hooligans! Get along now! Scat!
Can you let me in? I've got something to show you.
What is it? Let me see.
Nah.
I haven't got all day. You're trying trying my patience, young man.
E. Strickland? You aren't related to, Vice Principal Strickland, are you, ma'am?
Not that it's any of your business, but I'm his sister, Edna. Oh, and you're one of those McFly slackers, aren't ya?
Yes, what's old man what else has your brother been saying about me?
Nothing I couldn't have deduced from myself, slacker. State your business, child! You're making me miss Merv!
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm not sure why I'm here. Einstein here brought me, and...
Well?
Can you let me in? I've got something to show you.
What is it? Let me see.
I don't think so. Maybe not.
A shoe? Wow, now what would I want with a... Huh? Stay there! Leave that creature outside!
Sorry, Einstein.
Well, took you long enough.
There's a lot of stairs.
To return the shoe, I mean. I lost it ages ago. You can put it down next to the other one. Much better. So neat and orderly. I suppose you'll be wanting some sort of reward now.
No,
All I've got is tea and candy.
But...
I'm sorry I called you a hooligan. I try not to jump to conclusions, but after all, 9 out of 10 people in this city are hooligans. It's a fact. Look it up. Have a seat, Sonny. Hey! You kids! Put out those cigarettes! Don't touch those! My newspapers are in pristine condition and meticulously organized. Not about to let some street punk get jam all over them.
Man, she keeps it hot in here.
That's the kettle. I'll be right back with some tea. And don't touch anything.
Hey, mind if I use your binoculars for a sec?
Go ahead, dear.
Man, these are powerful. I could see Biff going into the video store.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe the filth that boy watches. Yeah, he's nothing but an out-of-control hedonist, just like his father.
If there's a clue to finding Doc out there, I'm not seeing it. I don't even know where to start looking. Is that Vice Principal Strickland?
Mother never could keep little Gerald out of her clothes.
What are these?
My editorial trophies.
Cat Lovers Quarterly.
It's legitimate journalism.
Einstein brought me that shoe from the past. But when in the past? Miss Strickland, about your tea. You forgot to turn on the...
U! It's spelled with a U! You illiterate vandal!
The candy looks older than I am.
There's the whistle! Surely the water's boiling by now.
Juveniles collide with manure truck. Nice picture. Brown Mansion destroyed. 1962. No, that's not where Doc's stranded. I don't even know where to start looking for clues in these stacks. Wish I could narrow it down to a year at least. Firm announces plans for Lone Pine Mall. Peabody Ranch to be rezoned for commercial development. I don't even know where to start looking for clues in these stacks. Wish I could narrow it down to a year at least.
Yeah, that's peculiar. The water still hasn't come to a boil.
Miss Strickland?
Jack! Diane! I know what you're doing behind that tree!
Yes? What's with all these newspapers?
This is my personal archive. I've got every issue of the Hill Valley Telegraph ever published.
Get out. Every single issue?
From 1871 to the present. If it happened in Hill Valley, you'll find it in my stacks.
Why do you need all these newspapers? Isn't that the library's job?
Libraries. Blech. Have you seen the smut they keep in their magazine racks?
Do you remember when you lost your shoe?
Shoe?
That shoe over there.
Oh, that shoe! Huh. Aye, what a nosy Nelly! No one likes a busybody, you know.
But...
Oh, fine, let me think about it. Yes, I remember. I lost it in a scuffle with a dog. Oh, when was it? Oh, yes, the day that speakeasy burned down.
A speakeasy? In Hill Valley?
Don't act so surprised, young man. Your generation doesn't hold a copyright on moral depravity, you know. Sin has been on the prowl in Hill Valley since the day it was founded.
Doing some stargazing?
No, I set my sights on lower things. Is that?
Tiff Tannen! Get away from that hubcap before I call your father!
I guess somewhere in these stacks there must be an article about the speakeasy burning down.
Naturally. I probably wrote it myself. I was quite a reporter back in the day.
Any idea what date that article came out?
Well, obviously the day after the speakeasy burned down.
I guess somewhere in these stacks there must be an article about the speakeasy burning down.
Naturally. Yeah, I probably wrote it myself. I was quite a reporter back in the day.
Any idea what date that article came out?
Well, obviously the day after the speakeasy burned down.
Wow, a speakeasy. That must have been wild. Is it true they used to drink gin out of slippers like my grandma said?
Don't romanticize the past, young man. Prohibition was a time when gangsters ruled the town while honest citizens quaked in their beds.
So where was it? That speakeasy that burned down, I mean.
That was ages ago. If you're looking for bootleg hooch.
No, I'm just curious, that's all. I'm a student of history.
Student of history, my Aunt Fanny. Yeah, your generation of hooligans and slackers could give two ripe figs about history.
Miss Strickland?
Oh, video store!
Huh?
The speakeasy used to be hidden in plain sight down there in the town square, right where that disgusting videotape rental store squats today.
So the video store building must have gone up after the speakeasy burned down.
The following year, as I recall.
Don't let me keep you from your business.
You there! Don't even think about tossing that Kleenex on the ground!
There's the whistle! Surely the water's boiling by now.
Clint Eastwood plunges to death on runaway train. Alright, Einstein brought me this shoe, and Miss Strickland lost the shoe on the day the speakeasy burned down. But when did the speakeasy burn down? I at least need to know the year. Hey, mind if I use your binoculars for a sec?
Go ahead, dear.
Rebuilt in February 1932. So the fire must have happened before then. But when? I need a date.
Don't look at me. I'm far too old for you. Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Ms. Pretty Whiskers is very particular about who handles her food.
Marshall Strickland.
My grandfather, gunned down by Mad Dog Tannen over 100 years ago.
That's not how I remember it. Jeez, they all look like they've got sticks up there.
What's that?
Nothing. Jeez, they all look like they've got sticks up there.
What's that?
Nothing. I didn't even know they gave out trophies for Best Litter Columnist. Miss Strickland lost that shoe on the day the speakeasy burned down, and I know that was sometime in 1932, but I've got to get more specific than that if I'm gonna find Doc. That tea's never gonna boil. Miss Strickland lost that shoe on the day the speakeasy burned down, and I know that was sometime in 1932, but I've got to get more specific than that if I'm gonna find Doc. I'm not leaving until I find Doc somewhere in those newspapers.
the water's boiling by now.
Let's see. Ground broken on site of former speakeasy, singer vanishes, Hill Valley Expo delights crowd, soup kitchen exposed. Here we go. Speakeasy arsonist slain. Legal procedure gave way to old-fashioned vengeance last night when a mob descended on the Hill Valley police station. The suspect in the speakeasy arson case, a drifter known as Carl Sagan, was pulled from his... Carl Sagan? It's Doc! Killed by a mob. What's the date? June 14th, 1931. Jeez, I gotta rescue him.
My newspapers!
Sorry, Miss Strickland. Let me...
No! You've gotten my history out of order! Oh, do you know how long it'll take to fix what you've done? Oh, get out! Get out! Get out!
Help! Police! I'm being attacked by hooligans!
Marty! Where you been, son? And what are you doing in that getup?
Didn't I tell you? I got the lead in the school play. We're doing...
Grapes of Wrath?
Right.
Oh, Steinbeck! Who are you playing? Never mind, you don't have to explain. I'm sure whatever it is you're up to, you know what you're doing, right?
I hope so.
Hey, sometimes you gotta go out on a limb for the ones you love, right? Wish my dad had understood that. You won't stay away too long.
You'll barely know I was gone. You ready to go, Einstein? Time circuits? On. Flux capacitor? Fluxy. Okay, if Doc's gonna get killed on June 14th, 1931, I'll just show up the day before and get him out. I hope you know what you're doing, Doc. Einstein, where'd you go now, boy?
Young man! Excuse me, young man!
Who, me?
You're the only man in the street, and I'm looking for a man-in-the-street reaction. Naturally, you know about the explosion that destroyed this illegal gin establishment.
I read about it, yeah.
What's your opinion of Carl Sagan, the stranger who single-handedly did what the law has been unable to do for 10 long years, namely, rid Hill Valley of the scourge of liquor?
You can mark me down as a supporter.
The young man said, flashing a boyish yet virile grin. Hill Valley needs more upstanding youths like yourself. Do you have a message for the vicious gangsters who still roam these streets, no doubt plotting to corrupt our citizens with another den of booze, sin, and debauchery?
Ask him where I can get the address.
Ah, I see! Because you want to blast it to smithereens just like Carl Sagan did. With public-spirited citizens like you around, the lawless element will be on the run in no time. Mr. May I get your name?
Yeah, it's... Harry Callahan.
Thank you for sharing your candid opinions, Mr. Callahan. Edna Strickland, Hill Valley Herald.
I know. I met you back. I'm familiar with your work.
You read my column? How sweet! I know it's just an etiquette column, but I believe it'll lead to bigger and better... Oh!
Einstein, no. Down, boy.
Is this wretched creature yours? He assaulted me once before.
What's got into you?
Aggressive dogs must be kept on leash at all times. It's the law. Look it up.
Doc. I gotta find Doc. Hey, can I get some moose?
What does this look like, a hunting lodge?
You gonna buy anything?
No.
Then get out, bum.
I guess this is where the speakeasy burned down. How'd Doc ever get mixed up in that? Sisters of Mercy Soup Kitchen. Come for the soup, stay for the salvation. Psst, Doc!
Marty!
Doc!
What are you doing here?
You sent for me, Doc.
I did? When?
May 14th, 1986.
1980? The automatic retrieval system. Of course. I'd almost forgotten about that.
So what's our plan for getting you out of here?
Plan? We don't need a plan.
We don't.
Not in the slightest. The police picked me up for that speakeasy fire a couple of weeks ago, but the DA hasn't got a case. They're releasing me tomorrow morning.
So basically, I traveled 50 years into the past to deliver your car?
Sorry about that, but it's so wonderful to see you. We have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, you might want to hold off on that, Doc.
Great Scott! I'm going to be gunned down by gangsters on the steps of the courthouse.
Why would they do that?
Guess they didn't approve of my burning down their speakeasy.
Very funny, Doc. Maybe now we should come up with a plan?
A plan? Right. But what?
Hey, maybe I could talk to the gangsters. Tell them they're about to shoot the wrong guy.
I don't think the criminals of this era are going to be very receptive to a complete stranger telling them that their secret assassination plan is misguided, do you?
Why don't we tell the authorities?
Tell them what? That my friend from the future has proof that I'll be murdered tomorrow? They'd ship us both off to the loony bin. And trust me, you don't want to see the inside of a 1931 insane asylum.
Why don't I take the DeLorean, go back in time before you were arrested, and stop you from getting caught in the first place?
Don't even think about it. Without my unjust incarceration, the events that sent you into the past might never happen, resulting in a paradox of continuum-shattering proportions.
Jeez, we've been back together for 5 minutes, Doc, and you're already talking about the end of the universe. I've missed that.
Don't be ridiculous, Marty. I was only referring to the end of the universe as we know it.
Why don't we try to tough it out? Now that we know what's coming, maybe we sneak it past the gangsters with a bulletproof vest or something.
That might work with 1 or 2 bullets, but from the looks of this article, it appears that I'm going to be mowed down in a hail of Tommy gun fire that rendered the innocent stranger little more than a pulpy mass of bones and gristle.
Who writes like that?
According to the byline, one Edna Strickland.
I should have guessed. Well, I suppose I could just get some dynamite and break out of jail.
No, that's far too dangerous. Not just to me, but to random innocent people in the past. The repercussions could be... That's it!
What's it?
My rocket-powered drill.
You have a rocket-powered drill?
Not yet. I haven't built it yet.
You've lost me, Doc.
Listen, a few months ago, my 17-year-old self sent in a patent application for a rocket-powered drill. I abandoned the project after I never heard back from the patent office, but the prototype should be nearly complete.
Great, I'll just run back to your lab and...
No, I said nearly complete. You'll need me to help you finish it.
How the hell am I supposed to sneak a half-finished rocket-powered drill into your cell?
Not me. 1931 me.
Wait a minute, Doc. You want me to convince your 1931 self to build a rocket-powered drill to break you out of jail?
Precisely.
Okay, let's say I go along with this crazy idea. Where can I find you? I mean, the other you.
How should I know? It was over 50 years ago. Why don't you go over to the soup kitchen next door and give my house a call? They'll know where to find me.
Soup kitchen. Got it.
Just stay away from the soup. It'll cause irreparable damage to your digestive system.
I guess I better get started. Don't worry, Doc. I'll get you out of here in no time.
I'm not worried. Once you and my younger self put your heads together, you'll be unstoppable.
McFly!
Biff?
Kid!
Grandpa?
That's Mr. Tannen to you, Artie. What are you doing out here?
Well, I was getting kind of hungry, so I figured I'd come down here for some free soup.
Just thought I'd come down for some soup. Think, McFly. The DA's throwing around subpoenas like Babe Ruth.
I don't think Ruth's a pitcher anymore.
Shut it! If one of those subpoenas landed in the hands of my number cruncher, I'd be in a whole lot of trouble. I could even get sent up the river. You wouldn't want that, would you? Would you?
No, of course not, kid.
All right, that's better. What are you looking at, punk?
Keep your eyes on the soup, kid.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, what are you still doing here?
Sorry, kid. I'll just run back to the safe house.
You do that. And McFly?
Yes?
That hat's too flashy. You better let me hold on to it. Now scram!
You got it, boss.
And don't come out until I give you the all clear. I swear, if even one of you mooks could add 2 plus 2 without your fingers, I'd dump that wimp into the lake. Hey! Anyway, I'm off to make myself irresistible. Don't let anyone burn down the shop while I'm gone.
Okay. Hey, never mind.
presence?
Hi. Do you know where I could find Emmett Brown?
Young Master Brown is currently tending to his clerking duties at the courthouse. Who, may I say, is calling?
The courthouse? Doc never told me he worked at the courthouse. I better not talk to him. I don't want to mess up his timeline. Nice rack.
Yeah, we got all kinds of culinary enhancements back there. The kitchen's for management only, rummy.
Whoa! Looks like these pipes go into the basement. Looks like these pipes go into the basement. What are those tables for?
We keep a few extra tables around for our end-of-the-month hobo soirees.
Okay. Hey, never mind. Bank of Italy? Gale, Zemeckis, and Fine. Attorneys at law. No solicitors. Hey, how you doing, Einie?
Don't touch those! These are very sensitive legal documents. Nobody is supposed to handle them but sworn officers of the court. Judge Brown says so.
Judge Brown? Doc. Nice to meet you. I'm, Harry Callahan.
Emmett Brown. But I am a law clerk, not a doctor. Now please get out of my way. I have important business to transact. Naturally, h2 of a multiplied by the inversion of h has to come out less than expectation value. What am I missing here? Or do we take h2 of a multiplied by the inverse of a might be equal to a's expectation value, but only if the coefficient of friction remains constant.
Listen, Emmett, you don't know me, but I'm your friend.
I'm not big on friends. They get in the way of work.
Come on, Doc. Emmett, drop the Legal Eagle Act. I got something more important for you to do.
Mr. Callahan, I'll have you know that the law is the very mortar that holds society together, and we in the legal profession are like brick masons building the edifice of the future.
Your dad tell you that?
Every morning.
What's this important business you're up to?
It's a legal matter, very complicated, very abstruse. I need to obtain 5 sets of initials on every copy of this writ of indemnification before before Judge Brown can even think of granting a waiver to the party in the first part.
You have no idea what it's about, do you?
That's how important it is.
So, Emmett, what time are you through with work?
Depends. On weeknights, Pop sometimes keeps me in the office till 9.
9 at night? But today's Saturday.
Right. So I probably won't get off before 10.
How about you knock off work early and I'll buy you a beer, or soda. What do you say?
Don't try to tempt me from my duty with sugary beverages. Keeping the wheels of justice turning, that's my one passion in life. Besides, if I left before 8, my pop would kill me.
Sounds like you're a little scared of your father.
Scared of my father? Pop is the most learned, just, incorruptible judge that Hill Valley has ever seen. The only people scared of Judge Brown are people with a dark secret to hide. And I don't have a dark secret to hide.
Listen, I understand you're working on a new invention in your lab.
Invention? You must have me mixed up with somebody else. I'm in law. I have absolutely no interest in science. Oh, let's start over. Force equals mass times acceleration, of course. That's Newton.
Come on, wait up a minute.
You again? Can't you see I'm busy?
See, I'm sort of in the science business myself. That's why I sought you out.
Not that I care in the least, because science is the furthest thing from my own area of interest, which is law, but I don't believe you.
It's true. I'm a scientist.
So tell me something, Mr. Scientist, from your vast storehouse of scientific knowledge.
The leg bone's connected to the thigh bone?
Amazing.
Okay, so you don't want your old man to know. That's fine. Listen, we all keep secrets. But I'm telling you, you can level with me about this science project of yours.
I am not a scientist. Go ahead, ask me what E equals.
What does E equal?
I have absolutely no idea. See? I don't know where you got your information from about me, mister, but you're wrong, wrong, wrong.
Doc!
Marty! Have you found my younger self yet?
Guess who I bumped into at the soup kitchen? My grandfather.
No!
Don't worry, I didn't talk to him or change his future or anything.
Good.
I wish I could, though. This era's tannin is treating him like dirt.
Don't worry. If history plays out as it's supposed to, he'll soon be out from under Kit Tannen's thumb and free to live out his life as a humble accountant with your grandma. What was her name again?
Sylvia.
Right, Sylvia.
How'd you wind up in jail in 1931 anyway?
During my trip to the past, I decided to look into one of Hill Valley's unsolved mysteries.
The fire at the speakeasy.
Exactly. I thought I was safely hidden across the street. But when the fire started, there was a tremendous explosion, and I was knocked unconscious by a stray brick. When I woke up, I was here in jail, charged with arson.
That's horrible.
I know. Worse yet, I still don't know who started the fire.
Where have you been all this time? I missed you.
I've missed you too, Marty. But I thought it was important to let you live your own life for a while, free from the insanity of time travel.
I gotta admit, it was nice to not have my family history blowing up in my face for a few months.
Besides, I've been busy raising my own unpredictable teenagers.
So how are Clara and the kids?
They're fine, fine. Right now we're trying to decide where to send Jules and Vern to college. Clara prefers the 2020s, but I'm partial to the 1960s. We're planning on visiting you and Jennifer in 2011 soon.
Me and Jennifer? In 2011?
Oh, forget I said anything.
Where'd the DeLorean come from? The last time I saw it had been smashed to pieces by a train.
It's a fantastic story. Do you remember when the DeLorean got struck by lightning in 1955?
Yeah?
Unbeknownst to either of us, the lightning produced a temporal duplicate of the time machine, one that was tossed 70 years into the future.
What?
I found out about it during a trip to 2025 and recovered it just in time to stop Griff Tannen from vandalizing the time stream.
Heavy. So that DeLorean...
is for all intents and purposes the exact same machine as the original. Plus or minus little bells and whistles I've added over the years, of course.
So, what were you doing in 1931 anyway?
Oh, nothing terribly exciting. Indulging in a little personal nostalgia, picking up a few rare out-of-print books to surprise Clara on her birthday, solving a historical mystery or two. The usual.
The usual? You lead a pretty unusual life, Doc.
It's an unusual universe, Marty.
I hate to tell you, Doc, but your last time departed display is on the fritz.
It is? So how did you find me?
I found one of Edna Strickland's shoes in the DeLorean.
How did one of her shoes get in the DeLorean?
Einstein took it from her.
He did? How strange. Einie almost never attacks people. Not without a good reason, anyway.
Well, I met your younger self.
Great.
And I gotta say, you're kind of uptight.
What?
You won't even talk to me.
I find that hard to believe. Tell me what happened.
You know, your younger self seems really dedicated to the law.
It's a facade, I assure you. I had to keep up appearances to appease my father.
Why does your younger self mutter all the time?
Muttering? Why would I be muttering? I never mutter unless... The Hill Valley Expo!
The Expo?
Yes, the Expo! How could I have forgotten? In a few months, the younger me will put on a demonstration at the Hill Valley Exposition, my first public foray into the world of science. Everyone in town will be there, including a number of noted inventors who shaped my career.
So, it was a big success?
No, it was a miserable failure, but it was a spectacularly miserable failure, one which marked my transition from an amateur garage scientist into a professional seeker of truth.
I tried asking him about your rocket drill, but he says he's not a scientist.
What? What? Father.
What's he got to do with this?
In 1931, I was still deathly afraid of my father discovering the truth about my scientific predilections, so I carefully kept them under wraps, practicing science at odd hours, away from his prying eyes.
That sucks.
It sucked a lot. Fortunately, I eventually stood up to him, but right now, my younger self probably thinks you've been sent by my father to check up on me.
What do I do to convince Team Doc that I'm not a spy?
I'm not sure.
What does this expo have to do with you muttering all the time?
When I was younger, I used to relieve stress by working on complex mathematical conundrums. No doubt my younger self is working on some impossible problem in an attempt to work off cerebral steam in the weeks before the exposition. What was I muttering about?
I don't know. H to the something when the inverse is something else. I'm not so good at equations.
That's too bad. I bet if we could solve my younger self's problem, he'd be more inclined to listen to you.
I still can't figure out what your younger self is muttering about.
Blast! If only I could hear him myself.
Let's talk about your younger self's problems later.
Okay, but don't forget we're on a bit of a deadline here.
Gale, Zemeckis, and Fine. Attorneys at law. No solicitors. Majestic arms. Transients welcome. Wow, looks like they used a real shark. Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Callahan.
Come on, you could trust me, Doc. Emmett, it's your future I'm looking out for, in more ways than one.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and science.
Oh, that word again! If you insinuate I'm a scientist once more, I'll sue you for defamation of character! Gonna be the inverse. Oh, yes.
Not sure what that...
One-dimensional harmonic oscillator, then naturally H2.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Callahan.
Emmett, about your...
Don't say it. Or do we take H to stand for the Hermitian lineup? Multiplied by the inverse of A might well be equal to A's expectation value. Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. Oh, let's start over. Force equals mass times acceleration, of course. Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. That's Newton. But how many newtons are required to maintain a constant mass if acceleration is...
Psst, Doc!
Morty! How goes the escape plan?
So, Doc, does this ring a bell?
Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A.
Good grief! Is that me? I sound so...
young?
I was gonna say intense. I forgot how wound up I used to get.
Yeah, but what are you muttering about?
Oh, that's easy. It's Ivanov's conundrum. Just tell my younger self that H equals a Hamiltonian operator.
Won't giving him the answer mess up the time stream?
Only if it turns out that reality is actually nothing more than a holographic illusion created by the interplay of subatomic particles on a vast two-dimensional membrane.
So...
it'll be fine.
What was H again?
The Hamiltonian operator.
Got it. Hang in there, Doc.
Not the best choice of words, Marty.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Callahan.
Maybe H equals the Hamiltonian operator.
What did you just say?
I said maybe H equals the...
Hamiltonian operator?
Yeah.
Great Scott! If H is the Hamiltonian, then H to the A multiplied by the inverse of H can only be the same as the expectation value for A. That's it! That's the solution to Ivanov's conundrum, the problem I've been wrestling with in my head all week!
I'm sure you would have figured it out by yourself in a day or two. The way you figured out how to build that rocket-powered drill.
Where did you learn so much about science?
Well, it's like this.
You know about my rocket-powered drill? Then there can only be one explanation.
What?
You're from the patent office. I confess I didn't quite know what to expect when I sent the paperwork, but I never expected this. Welcome! I'm at your service. What can I do for you?
Can I see your rocket-powered drill?
Of course, of course. Naturally, it's just a scale model, but it's nearly operational. I can show it to you, say, first thing in the morning?
Nah, that's no good. I need to see a full-size model. That's fully operational. Tonight. Otherwise, we'll have to award the patent to a competing inventor, Dr. McCoy.
It can't be done! I mean, it might be possible to construct a full-size working model in that time frame, but I haven't got the main ingredient for the fuel.
I'll get it for you. What is it?
190 proof grain alcohol. And you know how difficult it is to get a hold of alcohol these days.
Especially now that someone's blown up the speakeasy.
And besides, there's no way I can get off work until I've delivered the subpoena. It's part of the investigation into the business affairs of Kid Tannen. Is it vitally important you see that rocket-powered drill today?
Yes. Is it vitally important you deliver that subpoena today?
Yes!
Listen, I'll help you deliver it, and I'll see to it you get the alcohol you need. If it'll help you get that drill finished by tonight. Deal?
Deal. Here's the subpoena.
Arthur McFly? I've got to subpoena my grandpa?
No! Shh! It's Kid Tannen!
Hey, I just saw him at the soup kitchen, yelling at Arthur McFly.
I'm not surprised. Arthur does the books for his business.
What kind of business?
That's what the DA is trying to find out.
Let's go talk to him.
No!
Why not? Kid Tannen can tell us where Arthur's hiding.
Yeah, well, he can also have us fitted for a Chicago overcoat.
This might be a stupid question, but couldn't you have designed your rocket-powered drill to run on fuel that, isn't illegal?
Illegal? What does law have to do with science? Science has its own laws. You, of all people, should know that.
Well, couldn't you tweak your engine design a little so it runs on something else?
Like what?
I don't know. Gas, maybe?
Gasoline? Yesterday's news. You'll see. By 1940, automobiles will all run on pure alcohol.
Some of us down at the patent office are wondering, what made you think of a rocket-powered drill?
Ah, that'd be Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. It was a revelation.
Yeah, that's kind of what we figured. Have you read The Time Machine?
H.G. Wells? Not yet, but it's on my list.
How about Kid Tannen? What do we know about him?
He's loud, he's obnoxious, he's not very bright, and he doesn't like anybody getting in his way.
Yep, that's a Tannen, all right. This subpoena's for Arthur McFly?
Have you seen him?
For a few seconds in the soup kitchen, but I think he's gone back into hiding.
Brilliant deduction, Einstein.
You have to deliver a lot of subpoenas?
Father's always sending me out to do these dirty jobs. He wants to expose me to different kinds of people. All he's exposed me to is a lot of new curse words.
If serving subpoenas is such dirty work, why don't you just say no?
Look, what's the worst thing that can happen to me on this job?
You could get shot.
Yeah, well, believe me, that's nothing compared to what I'll get if I mouth off to my pop.
Any idea where we could find Artie?
Not a jot. If only we had a way of tracking him.
We'll get that subpoena delivered, or my name isn't...
Harry Callahan!
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Einie?
Einie?
It's short for Einstein.
Einstein, of course! Because he was a patent officer just like you.
Nice bike. Huffy?
Huffy? I'm not huffy. I'm passionate. Passionate about justice, safety, law, and order.
Never mind. Hey, Miss Strickland.
Oh, hello, Mr. Callahan. Try not to draw any undue attention my way. I'm on the trail of a hot new scoop, as we in the newspaper business say.
Did you finish the story you interviewed me for? About Carl Sagan?
Yes, but those pig-headed editors at the paper rejected it. They said my story was slanted, and that I was glorifying a suspected arsonist. As if their stories aren't always glorifying the criminal vermin that run this town. This whole thing makes me so mad I could spit! Though of course I never would. There's an ordinance against it, and it's so untidy.
I'm sorry about the way Einstein lit into you back there. I don't know what got into him.
Well, I hope you've learned to keep him under control.
Yeah, I found someone to keep him distracted.
Very good. Now let's see if you know your multiplication tables.
What's the scoop?
I've heard rumors that something shady is going on at the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen. It's under new management, you know. And oh, we mustn't jump to any conclusions. Not till the facts are in. I hope to heaven it is just a rumor. That soup kitchen is the front line in the good fight. If it goes bad, what will happen to the Stay Sober Society? Not to mention all the charitable institutions that depend on me for soup deliveries.
What's the Stay Sober Society?
You haven't heard of the SSS? They do the most marvelous work, taking hopeless drunken bums and turning them into former hopeless drunken bums. I'm one of the founding members. And not to say that I was ever, well, you know. Anyway, we've always met in the cellar of the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen, but for some reason the new managers don't want us down there, so we're stuck. We've got nowhere to meet.
You make hot soup deliveries?
It's one of my many small contributions to the good cause. Healthy bodies, healthy souls, or so one hopes. I pick up barrels of hot soup at the kitchen, and I deliver them hither and thither. Hill Valley Orphanage, the St. Francis Xavier Ranch for Unwanted Children, Foggy Mountain Home for the Incurably Insane, Shady Acres Rest Home. Oh, I can barely keep track of them all. It's a very big job.
I can help you deliver soup. I donate a lot of time to charities.
Oh? Which ones?
The, Mario Brothers.
Ah, yes. The Italians do so many good works.
If you'll just fix it so I can pick up the barrels of soup.
Now hold your horses, let's not get over-eager. I drive the soup cycle in this town, and I'm not about to turn it over to an upstart. But if you're well-connected with the local charitable institutions...
Yeah?
You can let me know when they're running low on soup.
I know a place where the Stay Sober Society can meet.
Oh? Where?
The Brown residence.
You mean Judge Brown's place?
Yeah, I happen to be good friends with his son Emmett, and he's told me the judge would love to lend his place out for, you know, good causes like yours.
Really? Why, that's the most generous, public-spirited offer I've received in a month of Sundays. Please, tell your friend Emmett we accept. The meeting isn't due to start for a little while, so that'll give our people some time to set up.
As a matter of fact, I do know a local charity that's running low on soup.
Oh? Who?
The Rest Home.
Those dear old-timers. Soup is one of the few pleasures they have left. All right, Edna, just think of all those poor unfortunates and hold your nose. Mr. Donnelly!
We'll get that subpoena delivered.
Hey, cue ball.
What?
The truck just arrived with a fresh shipment of, soup.
Soup?
Well, this is the regular soup, and this is the special soup.
Right. Special.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm spicing up the soup. It's my secret recipe.
Listen, this ain't the Savoy, and we ain't here to feed these bozos no fancy soup. The boss has got a business to rebuild, so knock off the goofing and mind your post.
All right. Just try the soup. Well?
I can see why you want to keep this a secret.
I better not talk to him. I don't want to mess up his timeline. There's no way I'm going to keep that door open without some help.
Brown residents?
Huddle up, Emmett.
Huddle?
Just listen up for a second. Obviously, this kitchen isn't the speakeasy.
Indeed. This must be some sort of front meant to cleverly and legally obfuscate the existence of a hidden establishment of ill repute. Perhaps in the basement.
Right. That might explain the elevator. Emmett, I can't get into the door over there. Those tables are jamming it shut.
The door? So your plan is to just waltz in there and take a barrel of alcohol?
No, of course not. That would be stupid, right?
I'll say.
Still, I'd like to get that door open. I can't do anything from out here.
Well, it's a simple matter of physics. A lever, some sort of stop. Let me see what I can come up with.
For we were born only yesterday and know nothing, and our days on earth are but a shadow. Actually, I won't be born for about 40 years. Like a thorn bush in a drunkard's hand is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Heavy. Lazy hands make a man poor, but diligent hands bring wealth. Maybe that's my problem. Lazy hands. Those who once ate delicacies are destitute in the street. Cheery. Eli thought she was drunk and said to her, "How long will you keep on getting drunk? Get rid of your wine." Eli should mind his own business. There's no way I'm going to keep that door open without some help. I better not talk to him. I don't want to mess up his timeline. Excuse me.
Yeah?
Could I have a bowl of soup?
We're a soup kitchen. What do you think?
Ugh, what kind of soup is this? It tastes like...
Scrolle ribollita?
I was gonna say week-old cabbage.
Everyone's a critic. Look, all I got to work with is this 2-bit soup in a barrel and spice rack that hadn't been restocked since the Coolidge administration. What do you think I should do to perk this slop up?
Let's see. Have you tried